Hi everyone. In today's video, we are going to talk about a very interesting plant. I think all of you know this as the snake plant, but this is a very different kind of a snake plant, right? This is called the Sansevieria cylindrica, and this one particularly with this fan shape is called the Sansevieria cylindrica Bonsall. So interestingly, the Sansevieria family has now been reclassified, and this has happened just recently, about a couple of years back, into the Dracaena family. Okay, this is mainly because they come from the same ancestral lineage, and that's why Sansevieria have been reclassified as Dracaenas. This one, which is the Sansevieria cylindrica, is now called the Dracaena angolensis. Why angolensis? These plants are native to Angola in southwest Africa. That kind of gives you an indication of the care of these plants. Now, these plants are absolutely perfect for beginners. There's one plant that you can grow indoors, outdoors, neglect. It is the snake plant or the cylindrica here. So even within the cylindrica, you have two different varieties. If you see this one, it just grows straight, no structure to it. So this is the regular cylindrica. If you see, this started off with this braid of this the braided plant, and it has got so many different offshoots over the years. Versus the Bonsall, this one has more of a fan-like structure. It reminds me of this traveler's palm. Very good plants for air purification. So they are very, very good to keep indoors as well. And very easily propagated. Okay, you can take a small piece of the stem, cut it, and then prop it into soil, and you should get roots. You don't even need the whole stem, just a tiny piece. The only thing to remember is you need to remember which is the top part and the bottom portion. Like, for instance, this tall thing in the middle, if you were to cut it into 5 pieces, you need to keep track which is the one that goes below and one that is on top. Because if you put it upside down, then it's not going to root, obviously. And it's got a very thick rhizome. So the way it grows and propagates is also through this rhizome. So I have, this is which has one, but if you see this one here, it has got 2 different plants in it. So you have this one in the front, and then you have this at the back, which is propagated. I just had one to begin with, and that now has become 3 different plants, and each one of them has grown to this size. This one is a regular cylindrica. It's got a whole bunch of names, right? So it's called St. George's sword. It's called the spear plant. It is called the snake plant. This version is typically not called mother-in-law's tongue. That's more for the trifasciata, different name, more of swords and spears and all of those kind of names because of the pointy edges that they have. From a light requirement, they are quite tolerant to a huge spectrum of light, right from low light to the high light spectrum. Not direct sunlight, not like completely in the darkness, but otherwise the relatively a huge range. Of course, if you keep them in the darkest part of your house, once in a while take them outside, because you also want them to grow, right? You might not kill them, but they may not do that well unless they get enough sunlight. At the same time, don't put them directly under sun. They might get sunburnt. When it comes to water, the reason why they are called beginner plants and low maintenance plants is that they have to be very rarely watered. Avoid overwatering them. You can't kill them by underwatering, right? They do have these very thick, these fronds or leaves that can store enough moisture and water. So if you reduce water, these things will be very thin, like the way you see in this one. Kept it in a corner and forgotten about it, I think for 3 or 4 months. Only for this video, I went searching where this plant is. That's why you find that this one is a well-maintained, well-watered plant. That's why you see these huge, thick fronds or leaves. and you see this one is quite tiny and thin. But having said that, don't overwater it. Even if you water it once in 15 days to even once a month, it's fine. When you're watering, water very deeply. Ensure that the water comes down through the drainage holes, okay, and well water it and then let it dry completely again. Again, in terms of soil, they are not very particular and picky about the soil either. But given that they come from a desert area, they come from Africa, give them some kind of succulent soil, succulent friendly soil, some gritty soil, and they will do well in that soil. But don't give them very clay, loamy kind of soil. They don't require any fertilization either. Nor have I seen these infested by bugs. Very hardy plants, can be grown indoor, can be grown outdoors. You can kind of neglect them and they will still look beautiful for you. And this is absolutely gorgeous. See, on its own, I'm just kind of trying to show you this. Right, you put it on your center table or the side table in the living room. This is such a statement piece, and you can put probably this kind of a pot inside a decorative ceramic pot. It'll look absolutely pretty and enhance the beauty of your living room. So beautiful plants, not very expensive either. If you want a big size specimen, of course you need to buy it from a nursery, but you want to try it out, do ask your friends for a cutting and grow the plant from there. That's the easiest way to do it. So thanks again for watching, and today I was just watering them and I thought I'll get this video done as well. Thanks so much. Bye.